Good morning.
Good morning.
Feliz Martes.
It's Mardi Gras.
It is Mardi Gras. It's also Lunar New Year.
There's so many things happening today. How do we decide what we're going to celebrate? Can I celebrate them all?
You can. You can. I might have beaten myself up because there's Instagram Q&A every Tuesday, and I try to make the photo time
Mm-hmm.
sensitive, and it has nothing to do with Mardi Gras or Lunar New Year. It's just random. I'm like, I totally missed this.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm so proud of you for getting it out. I know you're not feeling 100%, so that's
I'm
even
not.
better.
I'm not, but luckily in our jobs we can do it from home, so I
Mm-hmm.
can take breaks and lay down in between tasks. So anyway, we are
We
here,
are on a
in
beautiful Tuesday.
for better or for worse.
Hopefully for better. And hopefully the Q&A over on Instagram goes it's kind to you. I want it to be kind to you.
Well, I get to pick the questions, so that
So
works.
it
They're in
will
my
be
favor.
kind to you.
Yes, but unfortunately for you, all the questions I don't answer on Instagram, we answer together on Wednesday.
Yeah, together.
I,
Yes.
I purposely say questions so that Heather has to answer them.
N
So,
That seems fair, though.
yeah. Not a super busy day for news related things. We always start the
Mm-mm.
news. And if people that are joining want to leave comments, feel free and we will get to those at the end. But there's only one piece of kind of news, and it's just really a rumor.
Yeah.
And the rumor is that Imagineers have been told to think bigger with regards to Villain's Land at Magic Kingdom.
Mhm. I love this rumor, and I need for it to be true.
You need for this rumor to be true.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
what we know so far is like they've given us like numbers of attractions and they had
Uh-huh.
some concept art.
Yes. This is the project that we know the least about out of all of the big announcements that they had back in 2024 now, I guess, at the last D23 Expo. This was the one that we got the least information about. We got details about Monsters Inc., we got details about Tropical Americas, we got details about the Cars area that's coming to Magic Kingdom, but when it came to the Villains Land, it was very much just like this one graphic that looked like Maleficent or a dragon or something like um, dark, misty kind of vibes. So the fact that it seems like they didn't have a bunch of hard details at that point does give me hope that maybe this rumor is true. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten anything else.
Yeah, it could be. And I think what's happening is it's like what happened at the previous D23 expos. They were vague and then they were specific.
Mm-hmm.
And Villain's Land was kind of vague last time and a big
Mm-hmm.
shock. We were in the room. That was a big shock. And then this year is another D23 Expo and they'll probably get
Mm-hmm.
more specific. So my guess is if there's validity to this rumor, it's they want them to get more specific and then they'll announce it at more details at D23 Expo.
Yes, and I mean the fans. This Villains Land has been, or villains themed Fifth Gate was like on the wish list of super fans for so many years that I feel like if Disney does not over deliver on this, they are going to disappoint people in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope that this isn't some like small little area with maybe major attraction, one small attraction, and lots of shops and places to one place to eat. Like I need something more than that, please.
Yeah, that would not be good. Um, Also, I do wonder with Mr. Tomorrow stepping into his role next month
Hmm.
if there's going to be a push for him to kind of make his mark.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would want to. I would not want to be forever in the shadow and of the, especially the previous couple people before me. Like, I think I would want to step out. He's kind of been connected to Chapek because that's when he was in his role. Um, working at Walt Disney World. Is it President Walt Disney World? Is that what he was before? I get
Yeah, he was president of Disneyland Disney World.
yes, but that was under Chapek. I imagine that he will want to be able to, like you said, make his mark, leave his legacy, do some things that he will be remembered for beyond being connected to that, and adding Genie Plus.
I like to imagine how they are going to produce the announcements at D23 Expo, for instance. And here to sing a song about Villains Land is Billie Eilish with her song Bad Guy.
Yes, okay, that would be fantastic. Um, I think her level of celebrity may be slightly more than what Disney is willing to pay, but you never know.
Heather, they had some names there. They had some names. Not Billie Eilish, but they had
No.
some names. And the pairing, I will never get over the pairing of the performers with the announcements because it cracked me up.
I'm trying to think of who the biggest name was, though.
Yeah, there were some really
There,
good ones.
but I don't think any of them were
Billie
sell out.
Eilish.
Yeah, sell out a stadium tour
Yeah,
big.
there were some pretty big names. But yes. Anyway, I'm gonna manifest it.
Okay, thank you.
They said think bigger, invite Billy.
Okay, you know what? Anything could happen.
Anything could happen, and a girl could dream. I can't believe it's already D23 Expo year again. I feel like we were just there.
I know. I heard that the older you get, the faster the years go, and
Because as a percentage of our life, it's so small.
it's so small.
Ugh.
Every year is just a blink.
We had the best time at those announcements, though. Holy
Mhm.
moly, that was fun. Okay, that's the only thing that's kind of been in the news. Just a lot of like permits being filed for things and this sort of stuff. So Tuesday is often a day when Disney announces things. So maybe this morning they'll have something to say.
Yeah.
Okay. We wanted to talk about some weird Disney quirks and rules that kind of drive us crazy or just are kind of interesting at the very least. Some of these you may know, some of you may not know. But I think for new people, this is what drives me nuts. It's like how would new people know some of this stuff?
Yeah, because like you said, some of them are very random, and some I am not even sure what the reasoning is, and maybe you'll know. Like this first one, which is that you can't bring loose ice into the park. You can bring bagged ice, you can bring ice packs and freezer packs, but you can't bring in loose ice. Why is that?
I think it's because you could hide things in it easily.
Like what?
That's pew pews.
Okay, but like if I had my ice in a bag, do they mean like you literally can't put it in a baggie?
You can't bring this bagged ice. Okay, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. I
Yeah,
hope
I don't
somebody
know.
in the comments knows. If you're watching and you know, please tell us.
Yeah, there are ice rules.
Yeah.
But related to that is you can bring in food. And I think that people that have never been to the parks are really surprised at this because you would think Disney would prevent it in order to, bring in food revenue.
Yeah.
But you totally can bring in food.
Yes, which is not the same, in other parks and stuff. So I do love that Disney does allow you to do that. Very rarely will you catch me in the parks without at least a granola bar.
Oh, you're going to say, packing myself a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what prank we should do on each other one time is saying stuff that's doesn't true. It's not true and seeing if the other one goes along with it. Have you seen those pranks?
Yes. To see how far they will go.
Yes. I told my friend that I'm submitting for a contest and she just needs to sit and agree with me. And then the person on camera just says nonsense the whole time. And it's like, are you going to say anything or are you just going to go along with it?
Yeah. Remember that one time that I won the Indy 500? Like, it was so amazing.
Yes, I know. Heather's always packing her lunches to go into the park.
Backside park. My giant hoagie. I love a hoagie.
Some people do. You can if you want.
My favorite part is how it gets warmed up during the day and it kind of gently melts the cheese. So it's not like I don't like a hard cheese. I like my cheese to be like gently softened. So the fact that I'm able to do both of those things while still visiting my favorite attractions is it's kind
Okay.
of
This isn't
fun.
helping the nausea right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ugh.
Okay,
Okay. So
let's
you can bring in some ice and you can bring in food.
yes, just never any glass, nothing in glass.
Hmm.
Another one that is kind of interesting, and I think it plays out more around like Mickey's Not So Scary, are the costume rules.
Hmm.
And they do get a little bit more flexible for the parties, but in general, adults are not supposed to be dressing like characters. Kids can, but not the adults. Do you want to tell people why, Shannon?
Well, because you don't want to get confused for a
Hmm.
character. So that would be why.
Yeah. Yeah. Disney doesn't want you to be so look so much like one of the characters that people want to line up and get a photo or autograph from you. So
Yes. Yeah, I was looking for a photo of me dressed as the character and say, "Are you telling me I don't look like this character?" I can't find the one I'm looking for. Just picture me as Bo Peep. Really
yeah,
silly.
yeah.
No one's mistaking me for Bo Peep. But I've seen people in real life and in videos where they look very much like the character,
So much.
and people are asking them for autographs, but they're like, "No, no, I don't work here. I don't work here."
Hmm.
If you have anyone mistaking you for an actual character, that is your ticket to get into trouble. Don't do that.
Yes, do not do that. Disney bounding is a great way to work around that, where you're just dressing, with the spirit of that character in mind and not necessarily full on costume.
Yep.
Another one is that Disney has these amazing refillable mugs that they're not, well, not, they don't hold a ton, but they're handy, they're insulated, and they only work at your resorts. They do not work in the parks.
Yes, which is so difficult, I think, because it's like if I have a mug in the morning, let's say you have a
Hmm.
mug and you take it with you to go to a park. Well, now you just have a mug
Yeah,
that you can't use.
that you can't, well, I mean, I guess you could pour your drink from wherever from the paper cup into the mug, but it's kind of ridiculous to me. And then when you think about families who might all have refillable mugs, and so now you have to make the decision, are you going to fill up your mug and then take it back to your room and then go to the bus stop? It's just
Mhm.
I think it adds a whole bunch of steps to things that is kind of unnecessary. So
However, you can use it at any resort.
mhm,
So if you, for instance, were doing a monorail crawl or a skyliner crawl or something like this that had you go into multiple resorts, you could take it with you. It works at all them. It also works for 14 days,
mhm,
even if you change resorts. It
resorts.
doesn't matter. So for instance, I just did a podcast recording yesterday with somebody who's did a split stay. The first part of it was a dining plan thing. So they
Mhm,
got the refillable mugs. The second one was non dining plan.
mhm,
And when I recorded with them before their trip, I said, take your mugs with you.
mhm.
They do keep working for 14 days, even if you change resorts. It doesn't
Yep.
matter.
Which that to me is a nice little perk. It's handy. It just fits so few number of people that I really wish that the mugs would work in the parks. Also, your resort mug, they do have refillable mugs at the water parks. They're not interchangeable. Like if you want a refillable mug in the water park, you have to buy a water park refillable mug. If you want one in the resort, you need to use the resort one. And as of right now, there are no refillable mugs for the theme parks.
I will never get over how stingy Disney is with soda.
It's so inexpensive for them.
It's so cheap. Why do you care? Like they fully built chips into their resort mugs,
Hmm.
not to the theme park
And to
cups.
the yeah, well, into the paper cups,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, paper cups, refillable mugs, all of it.
Hmm.
It's all like chipped.
Chipped. It's so silly, so silly. Another one. There's no pool hopping except in some select situations, but in general, you can't pool hop.
And the most popular pools will have you scan in your magic band, your room key just to get in.
Yeah. So,
So
like
don't.
Stormalong Bay.
That's that's the most well-known one. You got to have proof that you belong there. But a lot of the deluxe resorts main pools, and I think is Art of Animation main pool maybe one of them too. I can't remember, but yeah, some of them will have you scan it in.
Yeah. But there are some instances, some DVC can sometimes pool hop. Some of the sister resorts will allow you to pool hop. And then if there's instances where like a pool is down and it's not generally like pool hopping can be a thing, they try to make accommodations if the main feature pools are down. So
Yeah, examples of sister resorts are Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. You can
mm-hmm.
go between them, and I think the All
All
Stars
stars.
they all share. And the example that she just gave of when construction's happening. So on the boardwalk,
Mm-hmm.
if one resort is under construction, then usually you can go to the other resort to use the pool.
Yeah.
So yes, but don't try it in general.
Yeah. You can go visit the resorts, you just can't use their pools. So Um, this next one is one that we've talked about before, and clearly I'm traumatized by it because I keep bringing it up, and that is the fact that annual pass holders still have to make stupid park pass reservations.
Yes, you do. Yes, we do. Yeah, that's very frustrating,
It's,
especially because we keep forgetting.
we keep forgetting. It makes me feel like a second class citizen, and I would love to not have to make a reservation.
I did make park pass reservations for our upcoming Disneyland visit.
Okay, well, that's fun.
Because when you buy the okay, so we're not annual pass holders there,
Uh huh.
first of all. So when I buy the park tickets, I just say, please make park pass reservations at the same time. So it's just part of the same process. But we're not annual pass holders there. So it's
No.
part of the ticket purchasing process.
Yes, and everybody has to make them there, so you don't
Everybody
feel like
does.
you're singled out for something.
Yes.
Um, Something else that sometimes is surprising to people because I think they're at least for me, my family when my kids were little, they were very. It was something that we would take to like places like zoos and whatnot, and that is that there's no wagons except when utilized as a medical device. So if you're used to taking a wagon with you when you go to, like I said, to like a zoo or a park, you can't use those at Disney World. There are size restrictions on things, and you can't, in general, have anything that you pull behind you. So, like rolling coolers aren't allowed, and that's just like a safety thing because if it's behind you, you can't see if you're swiping other people's legs as you're walking and whatnot.
Yeah. However, people really do be pushing the rules with this stuff.
Yes, they do.
So a lot of people will do these wagons as stroller things.
Which I wish those were around when my kids were young because those would have been amazing.
So in this case, it looks like a wagon, but because you can
Mm-hmm.
push it, technically, like
Mm-hmm.
this would be pulling, like this picture. I don't know if you can see it. This would be pulling a wagon, and that's not allowed.
Yeah.
But if you do ones where you can push, they are technically allowed, even though they look just like a wagon. Can
Yes,
you
they
imagine? That thing is huge.
huge. It just needs to fit in. There are size restrictions, and there
Yeah.
is a like a painted spot on the ground outside of the parks. At least I'm pretty sure there is at least one in front of Magic Kingdom where you can test to make sure that your item is going to fit into the size restrictions. And it makes sense because if everybody had giant wagons and super mega size strollers and whatnot, it's already crowded. It would be even more difficult to navigate. And just as, I mean, my kids are no longer little, but having to try to navigate something
I want to
with
see you
with
put
those.
put your kids in a wagon.
My kids are over 6 feet tall. That would be that their knees would
And
be in their ears.
and they're fully grown men with
Hmm. Beards.
you're turning to get in the wagon, mom.
Yes. There, thank you. I have earned my right to ride around in the wagon.
No, our future is those scooters in the parks that are where they decorate them.
Hmm.
The really cute scooters.
Yeah, ours are gonna be all decked out. Lights, maybe
Hmm.
a little bit of audio, just softly. I don't want to
Bluetooth.
yes, I don't want to disturb the people around me. I just need it for myself. A Jamaican air horn thing, all everything off the
No,
soundboard.
you do that, and I'll have my loops in my ears.
And spoiler, this is probably going to be next year. I feel like we're
No, ma'am, you cannot go from Run Disney's to that. Come on.
oh, there's a gradual. Okay, gotcha. Another thing that's fun though about Disney is that really, really old tickets, if you still have days on them and they were non-expiring types of tickets, those can still work.
They do. You can't do things in advance with them.
Mm-mm.
You have to walk yourself up to the window in person and exchange them for current day tickets, but they do work.
They do work. So if you're cleaning out your parents' house and you find something in a drawer, don't throw it away. Who knows? Maybe there's a day left on it. Save you $109 or whatever it is.
Before they did away with the 10-day non-expiring
Mm-hmm.
park hoppers, I stocked up on some
Yes.
and ended up using them for multiple trips for some guests.
Yeah, those were the best. Those were
Mhm.
the best. I'm really sad that they got rid of those. It made it very easy to do multiple trips. Dang it, Disney. Um, the next one is something that I believe directly impacts you, Shannon, a lot.
Hmm.
And it's the sensitivity of the metal detectors and the weird things that will set it off.
Yes, let me speak on it. For me to get through a metal detector without it dinging is like a miracle.
And we celebrate it every time it happens.
And it's been happening. It's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. No, but the things that were setting it off
Mm-hmm.
were eyeglass cases, which who knew?
That
There's
because it.
something about metal threads or
Mm-hmm.
metal, pieces that are in eyeglass cases that can really set it off. I also am a fan of Altoids, and the
Mm-hmm.
Altoid tins sometimes can. Although on the
Mm-hmm.
last trip, I tested going through with and without, and it didn't seem to matter. But the sensitivity of the detectors varies.
Yes.
So,
Uh, Other things that can impact it are if your chargers, usually like external chargers, won't typically set it off unless they're plugged into your phone. That can
mhm,
do it. And
mhm.
then also when you're at the Magic Kingdom, when the monorail is going over, because it uses electricity for it to run, that can change how the metal detectors work too. And if you are going through that metal detector right at the same time that the monorail is going over, it will often ding you for that.
Absolutely, which is so weird. So
Yeah.
they're always yelling like
Hmm.
umbrellas and what's the other thing?
Water bottles? No.
It might be
Definitely umbrellas.
yeah, umbrellas, external batteries sometimes,
Hmm.
Altoid tins, eyeglass cases, but
Oh, the like wipes. Like some of the like wipes, like diaper wipes and Lysol wipes, some of those have like a thin layer of metal in them, like it looks like aluminum foil or something.
oh,
And those two have been known to set it off. It's kind of like those weird things you might have in your purse.
yeah. So when you go through security, if it dings you and they send you over to have your bag searched, just ask, like, what do you think set it off? That way, next time you can try to increase your odds of getting through without any issues. I've
Hmm.
I've been able to do it recently, but for a long time, I just got pulled aside every time.
Yeah, there was a long stretch of trips where you didn't even try.
I know I was just like, I give up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk through. It's gonna ding. I'm gonna go over. They're gonna find something else that I didn't even think about, and then we're gonna learn from it. And like you said, you're very successful now.
So successful.
I'm very proud of you. These last two, are things that make me so angry that they are not aligned.
Hmm.
And it makes me angry for people who are new to this, who are trying to put together their dream trip, and they have all of these different things to remember. First one is that your ADRs are at 6 a.m. online or on in the app, but your lightning lanes are at 7 a.m. and those are app only.
Yeah, so different times and different methods.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really nice if they were consistent, like dining and lightning lane bookings open at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Just pick one.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do either in a browser or an app so that it was consistent. What, like fewer things to memorize. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like, for instance, I did a YouTube video last week about making Disney dining reservations and like how to do it, but also I compared the methods of app versus browser. So then I was talking about this on Instagram, and somebody goes, "Well, which method would you recommend for lightning lanes?" Great question, but there's only one choice.
Hmm.
And you would think if you have two choices for dining, no, you don't.
And and also, I feel like lightning lanes fit into that category for me at my current age of it's a big purchase. If I'm doing it for like a 7 day trip, I want to do it where I can see it big and I'm not having to worry about my fat fingering something to not get exactly what I want. So I would love for to have the ability to put it on a big screen
Mhm.
on my computer and be able to navigate purchasing those that way. I know when I'm in the park, I'm going to have to do it in the app. I'm perfectly capable of doing it in the app. It's just, it's a lot of money.
In addition, the enchanted extras open at midnight. And Disney doesn't even say that. So at
Mm-mm.
least, so for dining reservations and lightning lanes, they're on record with 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they're inconsistent, they're on record. But they tell you that the enchanting extras, which are really just activities
Mm-hmm.
like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, Savvy's Workshop, tours, things like this. Disney says they open at 6 a.m., just like dining. They open at midnight. 6 hours earlier than Disney says. And when Disney says the wrong thing, that infuriates me. But job security.
Yeah. 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 So that one, I think we can agree, extremely frustrating and kind of stupid. Just get those times aligned, get the way that you can do it aligned. They'll make my whole day a whole bunch better. The other one is that when you have a split stay, your ADR, so your advanced dining reservation, those opening dates are separated by your check-in date. So you have two different days where you can make your dining reservations plus 10 additional days, right? But it's only one date for lightning lanes. It's
Mm-hmm.
only your first one.
Yep. So if you have a split stay, you have different rules
Yeah,
for dining versus lightning lanes. And
which
I,
doesn't make sense.
it doesn't really make sense. I think it's because if you have tickets that
Mhm.
start during your first day and go to your second, that their logic is like, well, you can book the whole thing or whatever. But
Mhm.
it it's confusing.
It's very confusing.
No gracias.
Big no gracias.
But if Disney was easier, we wouldn't have jobs.
True.
So, but also people would have easier trips. So we always have a lot of mixed feelings about
Yeah.
these things. We're like, wow, that was a really complicated announcement. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
And also, people's trips just got a lot harder. So, anything else on that weirdo list?
I think those were like our top things that are weird or quirky that frustrate us.
Yeah, we could probably keep thinking about it. Could probably keep thinking about it because Disney doesn't make things easy. We did have some comments. Christine starts with hi, and then also we did our dining reservation and Bibbidi Baby Boutique reservations over the weekend for our April trip with 16 people, and we got everything we wanted, including Cinderella's Royal Table and Topolino's
Dang.
for 16. Oh my gosh.
Very impressed.
How about that?
That that was the appropriate use of the air horn. Well done.
Jessica replied to Christine to say, "Congrats. Do you mind if I ask how far out you were able to get your Baby Baby reservation?" Uh, so midnight. Make sure you're doing that at midnight, 60 days out. And I think we talked about this last week, but if you're doing a Biddy Bobbidi Boutique Cinderella's Royal Table combo, Bibbidi Bobbidi is at midnight, Cinderella's Royal Table at 6 a.m. You
Mhm.
don't have to choose which one to make first because they literally open at different
Different.
times.
Yeah.
Um, Jessica also looked it up. Per plan, Disney loose ice slows down security and is a bigger risk of being a spill hazard.
That
So
okay.
when they're pulling things out of the bag, they don't want the ice going everywhere.
That makes sense.
Did I hear you say you're going to Disneyland? Yes. Specifically, we are doing a land and sea combo.
Mhm.
San Diego cruise with patrons in April. And then afterwards, a lot of us are taking the train up the coast of San Diego.
Sounds awful.
I know it was $44 for the fancy tickets. Nice. And then we're going to Disneyland for a couple of days afterwards. So that is what I was talking about because I had to get our tickets.
Mhm.
Ashley says, I have a split stay coming up and have the dining plan with both. Will my dining credits expire when I move to the next resort at midnight, or will they all combine? They will be separated, but on
Mhm.
your changeover date, you'll kind of have access to both. I have experienced the plugged in versus not plugged in external battery issue and security. So don't have your phones charging.
Yeah, you just gotta unplug them before you walk through. I'm at this point now though, where basically I'm taking everything out of. I usually just have like a little sling bag. Everything's out and it's in my hands, and I'm just walking through, and the bag is just like an accessory.
Yeah. Um, Christine was doing the video by boutique thing, and says Enchanting Extras didn't open 60 days early this weekend. Okay. Well, that is super annoying.
Yes, and also not unusual.
Yeah. And our beef with that is first timers always blame themselves.
Mhm.
Frequent visitors know that Disney is up to nonsense sometimes.
Mhm.
Jeff said we had a split stay in June and was able to book lightning lanes for the entire trip. Yes, you can book lightning lanes for the whole trip. You can't do dining reservations for the whole trip. Well, yeah, you can do it for part one and then part two.
Mhm.
Um, Currently, weirder than usual, which businesses are allowed to deliver on property and which have been asked not to? Ingrid, this is a fantastic point. Disney's doing a lot of cracking down
Mhm.
and, in my opinion, overcorrecting.
I agree. Yeah. It's been the hot topic in a lot of Disney spaces if you're in Facebook groups and whatnot of what's happening. So I feel really bad for people who have built their business um, providing support and things that isn't necessarily available at Disney or isn't in direct competition because Disney isn't providing that exact same service.
Even more villainously, they seem to be targeting the businesses that were started by cast members.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the heck? There's this fantastic group called Ears for Each Other in Facebook. And when cast members were affected in 2020 by shutdowns, a lot of them started offering services. So, like, one guy would do this Jedi training thing with lightsabers at the resort. Other
Mhm.
people started doing makeover services at the resorts. Like kind of like Baby Boutique, but just at the resort, and all, like food delivery, charcuterie boards, all this
Mhm.
decorate your room, like all these different services, and it's really awesome to have all these different choices. And now Disney's like, nah,
Yeah.
you can still get food delivered from
Mhm.
Instacart.
At least for now.
Yeah, and even that they started charging by the bag.
Yeah,
And
it's very frustrating because a lot of those things were those little extras, even beyond what happened because of the cast members. It's little extras, that little pixie dust, the little thing that makes it fun to plan a trip. Um, that I not necessarily want a Disney World branded plushie and the Disney World branded balloon. You want to make it more personal and you can't do that. Or you have like people ordering gluten-free treats to their room because
yep,
they have a food sensitivity and having that blocked from them. It's just like you said, I think they've overcorrected and it does feel villainous.
yeah, I don't get it. Like, what do you care?
Mhm.
What do you care? I am not a fan. And to her point, it is confusing because some
Mhm.
services are still allowed to do this and some aren't.
Yep.
They're really monopolizing everything. The last thing is Ingrid says the parking as a non-guest resort, the rules differ. And yeah, um, I would be anxious to drive my own car or take like an Uber to a lot of resorts if I didn't have a dining reservation or hotel reservation because
Mhm.
you do get stopped a lot.
Yeah.
Our ways around that are to use Disney transportation instead of a car,
Mhm.
or use minivans
Mhm.
because minivans don't have to answer to anybody.
They do what they want.
They just go through, they badge in because they're literally cast members. So it's fine. Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll be back to answer questions. That always takes a little longer than our normal lives. So we'll be
Mhm.
back here tomorrow to answer any questions that weren't asked on Instagram. answer it on Instagram. But if you want to submit your question there, feel free. I'll be over there a little bit later today. Bye.
Bye.